Hi guys, and Ashley here again. Today we are going to do the book Lady and the Tramp. So this is a lot like the Disney movie, so it's a little bit longer, but it's a good one. I used to love watching Lady and the Tramp. Alright, this is the story of Lady and the Tramp. One snowy day, Darling received a very special gift from her husband. She unwrapped the brightly wrapped box, and out popped a little puppy. "Oh, Jim dear, she's beautiful. I think I'll call her Lady." There's Darling and Lady. Lady had found a very happy home with Darling and Jim dear. Her afternoons were spent playing in the park with Darling, and later she would race Jim dear home from work. One summer day, Jim dear came home with a surprise for Lady. "Here you are, girl, your very own collar and license. Why don't you show them off to Jock and Trusty?" Lady trotted proudly next door to see the neighboring dog. "Notice anything different, Trusty?" "Why, Miss Lady," drawled the aging bloodhound, "you've got a new collar." Jock, the Scotty, added, "Ah, and it looks very expensive." Later that summer, Lady noticed a change in Jim dear and Darling. The races home stopped, as did the afternoon walks. Instead, Darling just sat home and knitted. Poor lonely Lady sat outside and wondered why her owners were acting so strangely. So there they are. She's showing them their collar. And there's Darling just sitting there knitting. And poor Lady just wondering what's going on. The answer came a few weeks later. There was tremendous excitement in the house. Jim dear happily telephoned his Aunt Sarah. "It's here, and it's a baby, a boy. I'm a daddy." Lady tiptoed upstairs and peeked carefully into a frilly crib. "Oh, it's the cutest little human I've ever seen. So this is why Jim dear and Darling were acting so strangely." There they are, looking at the baby. Lady rushed outside to tell Jock and Trusty about the beautiful baby. As she talked, a stray dog with no collar or license entered the yard. He sauntered right up to Lady. "Hello, Pigeon. I couldn't help overhearing your conversation, and I think you're all wrong. Why, babies are just cute little bundles of trouble." Jock had heard about this intruder. His name was Tramp, and he always managed to escape the dog catcher's net. Jock didn't like him, of which, "Off with you now, you mongrel." There's Tramp. He's coming to talk to them. When Jim dear and Darling left for a weekend, Aunt Sarah came to stay with the baby, and much to Lady's dismay, Aunt Sarah had brought along her two Siamese cats. They were troublemakers from the start. One cat headed right for the canary cage, while the other tried to make a meal out of the goldfish. Lady chased after them and spoiled their plans, but not before the cats had made a shamble of the living room. Aunt Sarah came running. "Merciful heavens, look at this mess!" The two pesky cats pretended to be hurt. Aunt Sarah cuddled them. "Did that wicked dog attack you, my innocent little angels? Well, I know how to take care of that ruffian." So there's the cats, and look at the trouble they're causing. Oh, goodness. Aunt Sarah didn't waste a moment. She grabbed Lady and marched right down to the local pet shop. "Clerk, I want a muzzle. A good, strong one." The shopkeeper strapped a heavy muzzle onto Lady's face. It was so tight she could hardly open her mouth. Look at her. Lady wiggled out of Aunt Sarah's arms and bolted out of the store in fear. Up one street and down another she fled, trying to escape the horrible muzzle. She soon found herself lost in a very bad part of town. Three big dogs spotted Lady and gave chase, snarling and snapping until they had her trapped in a blind alley. Aw, poor Lady. She's scared, probably. As the snarling dogs inched closer to Lady, another dog leaped to her rescue. It was Tramp. Single-handedly, he fought the vicious dogs and sent them yelping away. Then he turned to Lady. "Hey, Pigeon, what are you doing on this side of the tracks? I thought you, a muzzle? Oh, you poor kid. We got to get that thing off of you. Come on. So there he is, fighting them. Tramp led Lady to the city zoo. At a pond, they found a beaver struggling to pull a heavy log into the water. Pardon me, friend. It looks like you need a log puller. I happen to have a handy-dandy one here, modeled by this little lady. Just nip it off and it's yours. The beaver quickly nibbled through a strap and Lady was free of the hated muzzle. Here's the beaver. Come on, Pigeon. Let's find a place to celebrate. Tramp seemed to be known and welcome everywhere they went. He had a different place to eat each day of the week. It's Wednesday, Pigeon. That means we go to Tony's restaurant. You'll love it. There they are at Tony's. Tony had a huge plate of bones already, but when he saw that Tramp had brought a lady friend, he served them a delicious dinner of spaghetti and meatballs. Then Tony took out his accordion and sang a beautiful love song, while Lady and Tramp dined by the candlelight. Lady marveled at Tramp's carefree life, so different from her own. They are eating some spaghetti. I like spaghetti, do you? After the romantic dinner, Lady and Tramp walked through the park to the top of a hill overlooking the city. Look down there, Pigeon. There's a great big world out there with no fences around it, where two dogs like us could find adventure and excitement. It sounds wonderful, Tramp, but who would watch over Jim dear, Darling, and the baby? You win, Pigeon. I guess we're just too different. There they are on their walk and then looking over the city. As he escorted Lady home, Tramp noticed some hens sleeping in a yard. Hey, let's wake up those fat lazy bibbies. But won't we hurt them, Tramp? Nah, we'll just stir them up a bit. It'll be fun. Tramp raced into the yard, barking wildly. Chickens went fluttering and squawking about until the owner rushed over with his shotgun. That's the signal to get out of here, Pigeon. Oh, goodness. He's just causing trouble, isn't he? Lady tried to keep up with Tramp as he darted around corners and scrambled over fences, but soon she was lost again. Without warning, the dog catcher pounced on poor Lady and carted her off to the dog pound. That's Tramp. I never would have guessed he was such a type to desert a lady. Lady had never been so scared and humiliated in all of her life. The dingy pound was full of sad, scruffy dogs who stared longingly at her license. They told her that it was her ticket out of here, and they wished they all had one too. So there's Lady stuck in the pound. There's some of the sad dogs that are stuck in the pound. Soon Aunt Sarah arrived to take Lady home, but as punishment for running away, she was chained to the doghouse. Poor Lady was feeling lonely and sad when Tramp came trotting into the yard. Hi, Pigeon. I heard what happened. I came over to tell you how sorry I am. You ran out on me, and I took the blame. It was so embarrassing. I never want to see you again. Goodbye. There she is, telling him goodbye. As Tramp hung his head and turned to leave, Lady spied a big, ugly rat climbing into the baby's window. She tugged on her chain and just desperately called for help. Tramp, hurry! There's a rat in the baby's room! Tramp raced into the house and up the stairs and burst into the baby's room. The rat was creeping toward the baby crib. Tramp pounced on the rat and killed it. The noise from Tramp awakened Sarah. She rushed into the baby's room. Oh, you vicious brute! Trying to attack the baby! Aunt Sarah hadn't even seen the rat. She forced Tramp into a closet and locked the door. Now I'll call the dog catcher and have that brute taken away. Jock and Trusty watched as Tramp was locked into the dog catcher's wagon. While Trusty, there he goes off to the pound. I was certain he was no good the moment I first laid eyes on him. Yeah, but I never thought he'd attack a helpless baby. So there he is, getting stuck in the closet. And there they are, taking him off to the pound. Just then, Jim Dear and Darling returned. Lady gave a desperate tug and broke her chain. She ran into the house barking frantically at Jim Dear. Look, darling, Lady's trying to tell us. What is it, girl? Lady raced upstairs to the baby's room to show Jim Dear the truth. Oh my goodness, darling, come here. What is it, Jim? Oh, a rat! That means that Tramp is actually innocent. He saved the baby, but now he's being taken to the pound to be destroyed. When Jock overheard this, he felt extremely ashamed. Trusty, we've misjubbed Tramp badly. We've got to rescue him. The two dogs raced after the dog catcher's wagon, barking fiercely. The frightened horses bolted, and the wagon overturned, and the door sprang open. Tramp was free. Jim Dear and Darling were so grateful to Tramp that they bought him a collar and license. Now he was part of the family. The next Christmas, Lady and Tramp celebrated with their own family of 4 adorable puppies. Oh, look at their little puppies over there. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, well, you guys have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Love you.